Curtis, Justice. This is my brother. We also have my brother-in-law here, Jajuan, Garvin. And in light of June being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I decided to do my first episode with some men in my life to show the effects of mental health, things that they have been through in their life, and just to share little stories on what they have been through with mental health. So, how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Go on.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just got off work.
All right.
Like the support.
Okay, thank you. Thank you guys for showing up on my first show. I'm glad to have you. We're going to go ahead and just jump right in. The first question I would like to ask both of you is, when did you first become aware of the importance of mental health?
Um, I have to say for me, it started actually with football. It's a disease in football called CTE. It causes you to have brain damage, and that actually caused a lot of football players to sort of lose their mind and become mentally ill. And that's when I really noticed that mental healthness is a big part in your life, men and women. So that's when I first became aware of it.
Okay, go
It's really after I joined the military.
on.
After before, I ain't really hearing people don't talk about mental health like that. So
Right.
when I joined, a lot of soldiers they be away from family, and they suicide ideations is a big thing. So they preach, going to seek like behavioral health counseling, talking to family. That's when. But after I joined is when I became more
You
aware.
became more aware. So in the military, they kind of made that a thing for mental health for you guys.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. So I'll start with you, Jajuan. Can you share a personal experience that significantly impacted your mental health?
One main like event I'd say me being deployed. I got
Mm.
deployed to Iraq, and then
How long were you deployed in Iraq?
that was about 10 months,
Okay.
and then I got deployed to Germany for the whole Russia situation. So when I got deployed to Iraq, I was more aware. I was like they told me I had more of a notice before I went out there.
Okay.
And Lauren, my daughter, she was just born. She was 4 months when I left, and I was 22.
Ooh.
So I didn't really know how to deal with that. So
Ooh.
being away from family, I was just
It was
isolating
pretty
myself.
hard.
Yeah, I was isolating myself. Didn't know how to like talk. I was just being myself, working out, just trying to cope. You get let time fly by, so I missed out on my daughter's life. Being married as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
CJ.
Ours is kind of tied together because when he got deployed, that's like you said, he had his daughter Lauren, my niece Lauren, and that's when I had just graduated high school and I went out there where they were stationed at in Alaska.
Yeah.
So it was a whole new thing for me. Didn't know anybody. All I had was my mom, sister, and niece, and everybody else was at home. So it was hard trying to figure out how to talk to new people in a different area, get acquainted with everybody. It's a whole different vibe out there. So dealing with that and also having to really sit down and think what I want my life to go and what I want to do in life, it all kind of puts a lot on your mental. And I was freshly out of high school, so 17, 18 at the time. So that was my first rough patch with mental health.
Okay. Okay, so being that you guys have shared your first experiences with mental health, who do you mostly turn to for support about your mental health?
For the longest, it was nobody.
Really?
Yeah.
You always felt like you had nobody to talk to, or you just chose not to talk to anybody?
Probably a little both.
Both. Okay. That's a pride thing for men, or y'all just.
I say it's a thing with men,
We're not gonna
especially.
speak for all men. We'll
Yeah,
say.
of course, not all men,
Yeah.
but majority of men, especially since it's now more of a thing where people put emphasis on mental health.
Mm.
It's before then it was just suck it up and go. If you talk about anything or express anything really, you're soft, weak. So a lot of men try to avoid that narrative and just say everything's fine but keep going. But mental health really is an important thing in everybody's lives, men and women. It's a very, very dangerous thing to play with. I know a lot of people that deals with mental health and then contemplated suicide because they have very strong mental health problems that they can't seem to shake because they don't talk to people, men especially. So I think it is just a thing with men mainly.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pride thing. You gotta put on a persona that you're tough and macho. Your mental health is serious. Just recently, I don't know this. My soldier I was stationed with in Georgia. We was in Germany together. He just committed suicide.
No.
Yeah. So, but you would have never knew though.
Yeah.
He was happy, happy going. But he got out a little before, like a couple months before me.
Yeah.
And I thought everything was going good. But you never know it.
Yeah, you
black,
never know what
black
a black
men,
man is going through. They say black men go through,
or even any men in general. You know what I'm saying? Men go through a lot. So.
Yeah.
Not to downplay any other race or anything, but it is tough for black men because mainly for us, we have to do double the amount just to get ahead in life, or even get even with the other men of different races, just because we're so far put back in society. So it's tough, and even if we complain about something, it's you're soft, you're being weak, and it's tough. So, but mental health is something that needs to be talked about more, and I feel like it's gone a way better, way better nowadays, especially since social media and everybody's talking about it and it's trying to spread more awareness.
Yeah, me personally, I think it's like a two-sided thing. I feel like because we have so much access to social media now, I do feel like it plays a positive, but it also plays a negative as well because of how social media, puts on a front that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to have that, you should look like this, you shouldn't look like that. So I feel like it's like a positive and a negative at the same time.
Yeah, so like the positive, social media has also been pushing the mental health movement. Like this podcast is going out to other people, like people seeing mental health, people talking about it. So that's a positive as well. So people becoming aware. They gotta be real with themselves and look at analyze the situation, find real people to talk to. And because like you said, your question was, who do we have to talk to? Like I said, nobody for the longest of times. I'm just now getting comfortable to talk to my wife. Because just imagine being married young and then taking care of 3 kids. You gotta protect all those kids. You gotta make sure they fed, make sure they got clothes in their bags. You gotta, make sure they're safe. And then that's being in charge of 4 lives.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a big responsibility, brother. That's a big responsibility. You guys got married.
I got married at 19. She was 18.
Yeah, you guys got married young. You're how old now?
Turning 23 in September.
Yeah, so mental health for you both, being that you guys are very young and black men in today's society, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. So I will say, how does your mental health affect your relationships with family and friends?
For me, I wouldn't say I let it affect my relationships too much. I try to keep a balance between everything and try to keep everything separated as much as I can. I find success in doing that because mixing your work life and your at home life and all these different things, it can cause you to strain your mind trying to compartmentalize everything and really just cause you to really lose yourself. I found that out at one point early when I started working, especially once I got back home from Alaska. I was trying to focus on my relationship, work, and rebuild my relationship with my nieces and siblings since I was gone for almost a year. So dealing with all that at once, it was tough. It was a tough time, but in that moment, I just realized I can talk to people. I talk to my significant other and my siblings and parents, and with that, it made everything a lot easier. I will say that talking does help, but it is just a mental block that a lot of people do have at times that's hard to get over.
Have you ever felt like talking to your family or friends like us before even coming to us? Have you ever felt like you were going to be judged or you were going to be looked at funny? Like,
Yeah, everybody has that feeling. It's one of the things where everybody at some point in their life is afraid of judgment, and you don't want to be. You just want to fit in. You want to feel a part of the group, but it's not meant for everybody to be a part of the group. You have to realize and see where you fit in it and just be okay with it. And that's something I had to do with myself, but I came to terms with that early in life. I probably have to say high school is when I came to terms with that, because everybody isn't meant to be your friend, and some people do use information to hurt you and to get ahead of you in life.
right.
So it isn't meant to share with everybody, but once you do find those people that you do trust, and just like family or some friends, it is very helpful to have them in your corner.
Do you feel like you trust us to talk to us now?
Yeah, I came around to the point where I understand.
CJ used to hate talking to us.
Came around to the point where I know now what I can and can't share. Some things y'all say that isn't meant to be said, and I understand that. So whatever I'm fine with being out, I'll let be out. But other than that, my mouth is shut.
So the things you keep bottled up, is that about that affect you in some way that you know you can't share with them?
No, because I have something I can share with everybody. Like I said, I have different parts of my life. So some things at work or certain things that happen at work, I can't share with them, but I can share with my significant other, Kobe. But some things that happen with me and her, I can't share with my parents or sisters because it's something that's personal between us. But I do have some friends that I can talk with, and they'll help me give me a different perspective of how to look at it. So,
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I think like mental health did like affect my relationships growing up. You know.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, my coping mechanism. I shut people out. Y'all know this.
Yeah.
I'll be quick to stay shut off in a room, or I've been doing that for a while. And I lost some friendships. It's not even nothing that happened. We just stopped talking, or we just.
Let me ask you a question. So you pushing us out or pushing out family and friends, do that help you at all? Like,
no, it doesn't. But it feels good. I mean, I don't. So I never. Let's go back.
okay.
Growing up, my parents, we never really had deep conversations. Y'all talk like y'all in the corporate 500 meeting every day. Yeah, I'm not used to it.
We a Fortune 500 company at this point. The justice is gonna talk. We gonna get it out of you, okay? But I think that's good for us.
Right.
I think, I have come to accept it. Before growing up, I used to hate it. Like Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings, they would cook breakfast and we would all sit at the table and talk. Like, what's going on in y'all life? Like, anything we need to talk about. Like, it was a thing for us growing up and we used to hate it. But now that we are older, I appreciate those talks so much. Like, I appreciate the talks I always have with y'all. I always either learn something from those talks, look at something from a different perspective, and it takes me a little further to think outside the box. And I like our talks.
Hey, I do. I mean, like I said, the family.
It takes some getting used to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It takes some getting used to.
The family is the reason why I'm married your sister. So, but when I had our conversation, y'all annoying too. But, when I had that conversation, I'd be wanting to say something, but I don't know how to like process my feelings and actually put it into words.
Yeah.
So I just sit there and I just smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I understand that. So, do you feel as though now you have a better relationship with Dominique, your wife, to come to her and talk to her, or how was it in the beginning? Let's start there. With y'all being married in the beginning, y'all moved to Alaska, and y'all were only how old? Like
19.
Yeah, 18, 19 when y'all moved to Alaska. Y'all were away from family. How did y'all cope? And did you feel as though you could talk to her then?
First, I got married not knowing what marriage really was.
Yeah.
So,
I think a lot of people do that.
yeah, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. I didn't know I had to, share a bank account. Take care of
you weren't ready
person.
for that.
Being a man, I didn't know.
Yeah.
My parents wasn't married. But no, I didn't. It was rough. Me not talking already when we got married, and yeah, so me not talking already and getting married, that put a hinder on our relationship for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, have you ever faced stigma when discussing your mental health, and how did you overcome it?
I'm not really sure. I don't want to prop myself up and say I never really had too many mental health problems, but one time I did face a depression state. That was just me coming back, and I had a bad accident that happened, relationship wise, and that it took a toll mentally. It changed my perspective on a lot of things relationship wise, and at that point I was just trying to really figure out how I could make a positive out of it. Because the last thing you want to do is just let something dwell and it just be negative and it just eats away at you. So when I finally came to terms with it, it helped change my perspective that not everything that happens is bad. Things do happen for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do have that mindset in life, it does help your mental health. Because a lot of people face different situations all the time, and they always ask, why me? Why this? When really it's just something that needed to happen for you to get you to change.
Yeah.
And when that happens and you look at it like that, you can appreciate it for what it was and just move on and take out some things that you can learn from and just look back at some things that did happen and just say I can continue to do that and build off of that into a better person.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question, have you ever faced stigma
sure.
when discussing your mental health, and how did you overcome it?
I didn't face stigma because, like I said, last time I didn't really talk about mental health, but in the military for sure, like I know a lot of people that face stigma. Like it was if you went to talk to behavioral health or you went to doctors, you was considered weak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for
Is
sure.
that like a all around, or was that just in your?
Yeah, they're trying to change the culture now, but when I first got in, that was like people go to mental health. Like if you go to see behavioral health, you get out of work, and they can they just try to just trying to get out of work, but really, buddy he really depressed for real.
Yeah.
So I never experienced it, but I know a lot of people did. So what I say is, you gotta put yourself first. Take care of your body. You only get one body. You gotta take care of it.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
My commander told me that.
I thought you made that. That was deep. I like that. You only have one body. You got to take care of it. I do like that. Okay, so see that you never had anybody say anything to you, because I think for us growing up, I hate to say this, growing up, I feel as though it wasn't really a thing back then for mental health. Like, I feel like now so many people have anxiety, depression, like a lot of these mental health issues are starting to come out more often now. And I feel like they are, back then we didn't have those issues. So if you were to talk about it, I do think you did get, looked at funny. Like you got looked at like you might be slow mentally, like you need what they say, you need to go to the Dorothea Deek's house, like like that was a joke that they used to do back then. So I think now, like you said, it is more common and more talked about now.
Yeah, growing up with our family, we could talk, but we could definitely talk, but some things would be seen as complaining or making excuses.
Yeah.
When it's really just how you felt.
Right.
And especially for me, since I was the only boy in the family, I was supposed to be strong and be able to help. Even though I was the baby, I still was supposed to carry my weight around the house. And I did go through things in middle school and early high school that I wanted to talk about, but it just felt like if I did say something, I would be criticized or just put in a different light, even though for whatever reason I was held at a high standard. But I just felt a lot of pressure to keep that standard and make everybody proud. I did actually experience something early when I had a dream of playing football. It was shot down. It was shot down. It was I didn't know how to tell y'all it hurt my feelings because I didn't want to be weak. Even though I was trying to prove a point of I could go out and do this, I felt like I had no support. Mm-hmm. And when you feel like your dream is shot down with no support, it takes a toll on you, especially at that young of an age. Mm. And not knowing how to express that to you or your family members, it weighs on you. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of the things where you just, as a kid, especially a young black kid, you just swallow it and you just keep on moving. Mm-hmm. And don't really express or let people know that you've been hurt. Okay.
So what societal pressures do you think contribute to mental health challenges for men?
Social media and women.
Whoa, what?
Let's start there.
Women? let's start there. Right. Women?
6 feet. 6 figures.
Beard.
My lord.
Penis sizes. Come on now. Let's be real, right?
We being real.
You a woman. Have you ever placed those standards on men?
We need to insert the crickets here. I have. Yeah. I think as a younger woman, I had a type. I think everyone has had a type in their life that they would chase. I no longer have that type. So, I think I can agree and say women do. But I think it's also vice versa for men as well.
I ain't taking nothing. But, Come on, but this ain't about that though. I And then also social media, you know, comparing yourself to other men. I can look at
Do men do that?
everybody.
Wow. Really? I mean, I know women, you know, we compare ourselves. So she got, you know, this and she got a BBL. But I didn't think, man, what are y'all comparing? Six packs?
Bank accounts.
That's
Cars. This thing now they say let's go band for band. You don't got a band to go band for band with. So it's just you got that. So there's a lot of things social media wise that men.
How does that make y'all feel? Like if a woman is judging your character based off your bank account or the job that you have, like, does that make you have any insecurities or?
For me, no. Well, for one night, I've been married young. I've been out the game for a while, so it don't really matter. But I haven't. You know, if she has that mindset, she's not for me.
Period.
Like, and you gotta like come to realization. Like you gotta be confident in yourself and
right.
Know who you are and don't let somebody else dictate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, me personally, no. I mean, if you feel like that, like I said, you ain't the one for me.
Yeah.
I just keep it moving. You've been seeing me plenty of times. I go out any kind of way, and it's mainly about if you accept me for me. If you don't, it's not my problem.
9 times out of 10, the woman that wants you to have 6 figures don't even got 50. You feel me?
Ooh, okay. I agree.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Apparently, they be gold diggers.
Okay.
So you lose all your money, they going with it.
All right.
So I would say stress yourself on that.
Okay, so I have a question. So, do you guys, honest opinion, do you guys feel as though men's insecurities play a role in their mental?
100%.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a lot of things that go into your mental, but insecurities is one of them. It's like you got people that body shame. Now, some people don't even want to. Plenty of men you see go out in the pool with a tank top with a shirt on because insecurities, and then that weighs on your mental.
The standards is always going to change. Like females wanting like they can want somebody that's small, skinny, 6-pack. Now they talking about dad bods. Then they talking about big men. Come on now.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to other men struggling with their mental health?
Focus on yourself, King.
Yeah, for sure. You got to focus on yourself. Surround yourself with genuine people that cares about you as much as you. Root yourself in faith. Yeah. Because God can help you out, you know, in a lot of ways.
Amen.
But
I agree.
Find something that keeps you productive. The gym, reading books. What else I got?
I say activity. I like doing activities. So something I recently just experienced was kayaking. That's a nice thing to do.
For sure. Yeah.
Or some dudes like going to the gun range. It's not for everybody, but it does help relieve some of the stresses in life, just like kickboxing, boxing, or like I said, gym, all the things.
I'm going fishing in 2 weeks with a group of men.
Okay.
At work, so that might be something new I might be doing.
Okay. I'm actually glad you brought that up.
Fishing?
No, a group of men.
Okay.
Previous relationship I had, I've tried to get that partner to find a group of men, to try to relate to, try to talk to, build a bond or a friendship with. So, do you guys how do you choose your group of men? Is it your friends or is it older men that you find? Like how do you find your group?
It really don't have an age range. I just gotta gauge. Like I gotta use. I just go off with like what I have going on in my life and what somebody else has going on.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm married, I got kids. It's not that many young people out here that have that.
Right.
So the people I am hanging out with, they are older than me, but they just have to. We have to build each other up, and we have to all have something going on for ourselves. For we being a friend group.
Right.
I'm still kind of figuring that part out. My friends, they're good guys when they want to be.
When they want to be.
Yeah, we don't really take anything serious, which is a good thing sometimes because life itself is always serious. You gotta bill to pay, you got something to take care of in the house or something to do for somebody else. So when I get around my friends, I just let loose and let all the cares in life go away and just enjoy myself and enjoy time with my friends. And I am trying to find more friends that's like minded and really wants to build, I wouldn't say not an empire, but build something so we all can succeed and we all can experience the good things in life, money, cars, all this other stuff, rather than just we all just at the bottom and not doing anything with our lives. I just base my friends off of character, and if I feel like you can go somewhere or help me move along in life as long as I can help you as well.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So you guys said that you kind of touched bases on a few things that you found about yourself that you like to do. How did you go about doing that? Like, did it come about finding something that you like from your mental health? Like, you know how we women we are very big on self care. You know, our hair being done, nails done, toes, lashes, like that's a very big self care thing for us. So for you guys, what does your I guess I'll say what does your self care look like?
I mean, it's kind of similar in a way. You know that feeling you come from the barbershop and you see that fresh lineup. You're
I
like,
don't know.
I know.
yeah, so you get that confidence boost.
Okay.
Just like how you probably would. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's not too extreme. I got like nails and all that.
Yeah, so we got a lot more to do than y'all do. Y'all have a simple haircut, so that's why I would like to know what else does the what is it your I'm having a brain freeze. Your I guess it's not a habit.
Hobbies?
Your hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something a part of like I guess self care for you guys, or is it just something that makes you feel better? Like
I would say yeah, because it's mental. Like it's like you mentally refresh yourself when you're doing it, like working out.
mm-hmm.
I feel different after leaving the gym.
I don't.
You,
Listen, Jim just might that just might make me a little more madder. So
for me personally, I do my self care in different ways. I know I'm patient, but my patience do wear thin. So sometimes when that happens, I just go and take some time to myself. If that's me going to the gym or me just getting on the game and just letting stress out on the game. I always try to take some time throughout my day to de-stress and let everything go. Because I did notice growing up that I never, other than football, I never really found a way to let out all my stress and worries in life. So then once you graduate and you don't go to college for football, you have to find something else that helps you get all that anger and tension out.
Mm.
And I found that to be a big part of my self care routine because if I don't, I tend to become a different person. So I have less patience for people. I have less care for people. I just not really myself. So I take time out to really just decompress and just let everything go.
Okay. So going forward, how do you prioritize your mental, your mental health in the future?
I mean, I try to reflect as much as I can. I prioritize reflecting I try to reflect on the day, week, month, or whatever happens, just to see what I could have done better.
Mm.
And that really helps a lot with my mental health because a lot of times people have regrets or something that they did and they don't say anything, and that weighs on your mental and eats away at you. So I try to reflect and really think, how could I handle this situation differently? And if I felt like I handled it bad, I'll come back and apologize and try to make amends for it so it's not weighing on my mental.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta really take the time to analyze like your feelings. I could come from work, had the worst day ever, and I not even know it. Like for real, Dominique be like, "How was your day?" It was a good day, and it was the worst day ever. But I don't know.
You gonna lie?
I don't know. That's all I know.
Why do men do that?
Y'all not gonna understand how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you work at IT, you work at your office job, and your job ain't that hard. Y'all don't understand what really be going on. So it's a good day.
But okay, but if a woman comes home and tell you,
she'll tell you everything that happened.
Exactly. Why y'all feel like y'all can't do the same in return? If that helps decompress you.
It's one of them stigmas that we talk about. So we both work with computers, sort of. I call patients on the phone, and I work from home. So as a man, I'm already seen as doing wrong because I'm not out working in electricity or building houses and stuff.
Okay.
I'm in the house basically doing nothing to some people, older people. So you come home and you explain, I had a long day. Somebody had a suicide call that they called us about. Somebody had problems with their appointment, couldn't reach their doctor. Somebody then had problems getting set up for an appointment, said they didn't get set up for an appointment. All these things can happen in a day. And to some people, they downplay it, seeing as, yeah, that all happened, but you still worked from home. You still didn't have to leave the house and get up and get ready, which you understand, but it's also sort of, again, downplaying your feelings and what you then had to go through mentally wise all day. So instead of feeling like that, you just say, my day was good. And you just leave it at that.
Yeah, because you get looked at as like complaining or being weak. So yeah, I think men gotta find themselves outside of what they do, like what their careers is. Because when that career is gone, who are you?
That's a good point. That is a good point. I like that. Who are you?
Yeah, so I just got a degree. I mean, I pride myself in the degree, but a lot of times I would make it who I am. But that shouldn't be the thing.
That's not who defines you. That's not what defines you. Yeah. Okay. I like that. So you feel as though going forward you will make time or reflect on your day, week, month, however, to see what you can do better. I like that. And then for you, you are finding yourself outside of your job. Your job does not define who you are. Your degree does not define who you are. And just taking time for yourself to. Okay. All right. Well, that is great. You guys have any questions?
I have one question for women.
Oh.
as when you're a woman and your man comes home and he explains the problems in life that you may not see as a problem or something that deep, how do you respond or feel like you should respond? And why do you feel like that? You've had one.
Wow. For me, I'm gonna only speak for me. You know, I'm a different breed. I think it depends. It depends on the man that it is. You know, I think it depends. I have dealt with people that literally didn't do nothing. I mean, literally didn't do nothing.
No shade.
And what were you supposed to ask? You know? And then you have some, I have some that, you know, they had careers. They did. I think at one point throughout my life, I did realize how selfish as a woman I was. Because it never dawned on me to ask how your day was when you came home, you know? So, now that I am older, I do make that something that I, you know, ask anybody that is in my life, like, hey, how was your day? What happened? Oh, really? What did they do? What did they say? Like, I'm gonna get all in the nooks, crannies, and ask every single question. We're gonna unload this whole day together, because then you're gonna sit back and listen to how mine went. So, you know, I mean, that's just me. Like, I guess it's nosy in a sense too. I am a nosy person. So I will ask a million questions until you come out and tell me, like, okay, this is what happened. Jack said this, Dan did this, and I'm just over it. I'm tired. And then I'm gonna ask, well, what we gonna do? You know, I feel like every problem has a solution. So what is the solution? What are we gonna do? Are we just going to go back to work the next day and pray? That's an option. Are you going to look for another job? We can get on Indeed right now and find us a job, you know? So I think it just depends on the person who it is. Because you have some people that just, some men that they just don't want to do nothing, you know? Which is, I think, a topic for another day. Yeah. That's about all I got.
Okay. Special guest.
Okay, well, I believe that's all the time we have. Yes, thank you guys so much for joining me on my first ever live talk show. I am your host, Brittany Justice. This is my brother, Curtis Justice Jr., and this is my brother-in-law, Jajuan Garvin. See you guys next Thursday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Thank you. All right, you guys, that was great.
Is it not?